Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for this video. Today I'm going to show you a very warm, very sort of shimmery metallic eye look today, and it's using the new palette from Coastal Scents. It is the 88 Metal Mania Palette. So to give you kind of a closer look at this, you can see a lot of the shades appear to have some shimmer, and some are just downright metallic, as the sort of name suggests, but it does vary. There are some that aren't necessarily that shimmery at all. I find that if you want to pack on any of these shades, you will get that metallic finish, but if you buff them on more like sort of a finishing shade, a finishing touch to your look, it's not going to be that metallic at all. So don't be necessarily intimidated by this palette, thinking that everything's just going to look like that, you know, metal finish. It's not necessarily going to be that way, so I think you'll see what I'm talking about as you watch this tutorial. My first step was to apply a shadow primer all over my lid. I used Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and next I'm just going to apply the first shadow that I'm going to use all over my lid, and in this kit it is the third one down, 1, 2, 3 on the left hand side of the palette. It's this one right here, and it just looks like kind of a basic light, somewhat shimmery shade, but what's really interesting is it has like an iridescent pinky glow to it, so it's really a neat shade. I didn't realize that till I swatched it, but I'm going to apply that here on my lid, and you're hopefully going to see that there's a little bit of a pinky iridescent, like pinky lilac glow to this shade. So I'm just getting that all over my lid. I used my SS239 brush for that step. And next I'm going to take a little bit fluffier brush. I'm going to go with the SS224, and I'm just using my travel set. They're kind of handy to just keep out here by my makeup area. But the next shade I'm going to use is just kind of a general light shade. It is right here. You can see one of my nails has come off. But it's right here in the palette. It's just basically a light kind of peachy shimmery shade. So just pick some of that up, and that is going to kind of serve as just a light highlight shade here right under the brow. Just get that out of the way. Next, go back to the 239 brush, and I'm going to be using one of the red shades in this palette. It's 3 over on the side, and it's this shade right here, just kind of a sort of a metallic ruby color. And so I'm going to pack some of that onto my brush, and first put it on the outer half of the lid here. As I apply it to the lid, I'm also kind of using the tip of that brush to push it back towards the crease as well. So just kind of start to blend that color in that direction. Next I'm going to use the SS224 brush again. It's a little more full, and I'm going to that same shade, and I'm just going to dust this in the crease. So we're getting it in the crease, but we're also building it up just a little bit, just above the brow bone there. So you can see we've got kind of that wash of color, and a lot of what I've realized about this palette is, you know, if you pack the shades on, they really can look metallic, but if you just want to dust it on like a light wash of color like we're doing here, it really doesn't look that metallic at all. So it's kind of all in your application, the brushes you use, and that'll determine basically how vivid and metallic the look is. So now that we've done that, we're going to go to a brighter shade in this palette, and it doesn't necessarily look that metallic to me, but it is this bright shade right here. It's just 2 up over on the right side of your palette, 2 in and 2 up. And I'm going to take the fluffy brush that I just used once again, pick up a little bit of that color, and just use that on the border, sort of overlapping the maroon that we just put on there. So we're going for a little bit of a bright kick right here. And then we're going to pull it down with some contrast after we do our liquid liner here in a second. Now there is some darker shadow I'm going to be working into this look, but first I'm going to use my L'Oreal Carbon Black Lineur Intense liquid liner. I did recently post a review on this, and I might typically, since I'm using such kind of frosty light colors on the lid, I would have maybe used Revlon Color Stay because it goes over it a little more effectively, but I'm out of that. So this is what I'm using, and this is fine. So I'm going to really start very far in. You can see on this eye we've really got a clean point there on the inner part. So I'm going to definitely aim for, you know, right on that, right on the inner part of the tear, not in the tear duct, but right on, even with the inner part of the eye there. And from there on out, just keep it close to the lash line. And just draw it right across. Once you start getting to the end, I'm kind of drawing it a little more straight out, like this, and then I'm going to connect it up. And you can see we basically got a little wing going here, not like a super dramatic cat eye type wing, but basically it's just a good way to thicken the liner and get our eyes getting that more, you know, turned up look on the outside. While I'm on liner, I'm going to just finish up on the bottom. I'm using the Extra Intense Liquid Pencil Liner from L'Oreal. This is a lot like the Milani Liquify. It's just basically, I kind of got the two to compare, so they're basically interchangeable products. It's just a really, really long-wearing pencil liner that's very intense and black. And you have like a short amount of time to smudge it if you want to, but from there on out it's basically going to stay put exactly where you put it. So I'm going to just kind of blend this up to that outer corner here at first, and then just take it basically all the way in under my eye. Just like that. I'm keeping it just kind of right among my lower lashes here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to stay in the shot, but connect it all the way in to that inner corner, and sometimes it helps to go ahead and do that and then just fill it in. Just like that. Real quickly, while smudging is still sort of an option here before this gets totally dry, that's when you can kind of blend it a bit and sort of ensure that you have, you know, not skipped any little areas in there. So no big deal, not a real noticeable smoky smudge that we're doing, but we're just kind of making sure everything's connected. Next I'm going to pull out MAC Carbon, and that's basically because in this whole Metal Mania palette, while there is a shade that sort of resembles black, let's see, it would be this one right here. That's about as black as it gets, and there's not really even a dark black, straight up black metallic, or you know, a matte black. Of course that's not in there, and I really feel like what you need to kind of set off these shimmery shades is a matte color. So one way we're going to use this is to set our lower liner. So I'm going to take my Coastal Scents Taklon liner brush and just kind of get some of that black on there and go right over my lower lash line. Next I'm going to take my fine crease brush from Essence of Beauty. This is available in a duo from CVS. This is the smaller of the two that are in there. I'm going to go back to MAC Carbon, and basically we're going to get some of this going in our crease and just really give a nice contrast to the kind of rosy shimmery theme we've got going on. So here I am just going to my natural crease. With that, you'll find it'll blend fairly easily on top of these shades, and it won't be as intense of a matte black because you are going on top of some really light shimmery colors. So it's going to be fairly easy to blend there. So just kind of start at the corner and go in, and I kind of took it all the way in on my crease there. Now that you've kind of covered your crease area with that, if you want to build it out a little more, you definitely can, just by sort of playing off of the outer corner of your liner and sort of boosting up that intensity just a little bit there. Next I want to play with one of the purple shades in this palette, and it is, which one did I use? It's in sort of the purple row here, and it is 1, 2, 3 up. So it's this one right here, and that's sort of in the center of the palette. I'm going to take my same Taklon liner brush and kind of wipe that off here real quickly that I used for the Carbon. Get some of that purple on there, and actually go just under where that black liner is on your lower lash line. This is going to be really subtle, but it's going to kind of make this look appear a little more smoky. So just go all the way under your lower lash line with that. And another way I want to use that same color is with my fine crease brush. I'm going to pick up some of that purple and just kind of pull it right here. This isn't an area I usually deal with a lot with eyeshadow, but I'm going to pick some of that up, and see how I'm going just under that little wing that I created. We don't want to give ourselves that black eye look, but I think this is really pretty, kind of fading up to that outer V with some purple, and then the top part kind of has that really warm, remember that sort of pinky magenta shade that we put on top. At this point, you just kind of want to give your eyes a second look before we start messing with lashes, and for me, I'm going to take that bright kind of pinky red magenta shade and just give myself a little more of that, because I think the carbon covered a little bit of that up and I want it to still show through. So I'm just putting that there, and there we go. For lashes, I'm going to apply my Lancome Hypnose Mascara to my top lashes, a little bit of Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom, and then I'm also going to apply my Ardell lashes number 116. So they're sort of a, they're a little bit more like a cat eye lash. They get a little thicker and longer towards the outside. So I'll put those on and then I'll join you with the finished look. Hey everyone, here is the finished look. As you can see, kind of a metallic look, but it's really all in how you use the products or the colors in this palette as to how it's going to actually appear on your eye as the finished look. So, but anyway, what I did here, since I last talked to you, I've put some Lancome Hypnose Mascara on my lashes to kind of get them in that turned up fashion that they need to be to really fit with the lashes. Put on my Ardell number 116 eyelashes, which are a little bit flared out at the ends. I also put some white eyeliner on my waterline just to kind of make the eyes appear even larger, and then I finished it off with one more coat of mascara. So the eye look is pretty dramatic. On my lips, I'm using a shade of Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick called Champagne on Ice. It's a really nice shimmery, somewhat shimmery nude lip color, so I put that all over my lips, and then I topped it off with actually next I used, sorry it's getting complicated here, I used a liner from NYC in Naughty Nude, and that's just a little bit deeper nude color that I used to sort of define the Cupid's bow area, just define the lips and blend it out a little bit, and then I topped it off with Super Lustrous Lip Gloss in Foiled, a nice shimmery shade that I've used quite a bit. So I hope you enjoyed this look using the 88 Metal Mania palette. Some of the shades are super metallic, some aren't quite so metallic. It's just, and again, if you depending on how you choose to use this palette, will really determine the finish you receive. So thanks so much for tuning in for this video, guys, and have a great day.